Good afternoon. This is Duane Lowry for the DPP Grain Desk on Sunday, December 2nd, about 12:40 in the afternoon, and it's in northeast Iowa, and it's 58 degrees. The cornfield just behind me was just had anhydrous applied to it yesterday. The ground is mellow, soft, and it looks like it's ready to be planted. December 2nd, 2012. What's it mean? I don't know. But it sure is an interesting thing. 58 degrees. I'm out here in my backyard in just a shirt, very comfortable, sitting in a lawn chair. I'd like to build that into some sort of a market case, but I don't think I'll do that. I'll let somebody else try to build a correlation between global warming and the price outlook for 2013. But I do think it's worth an interesting point here as we talk about what's ahead of us in the months ahead, South American growing season, etc. As far as tonight's trade is concerned, it looks like we're set to be higher tonight. I think the initial talking point will be Egypt bought U.S. wheat this weekend, and I think that the implications there is that U.S. wheat is now globally competitive. And what that tells us is that global prices have gone up enough, U.S. wheat prices have stabilized enough, and the cheapest origin global wheat supplies have largely been exhausted. We're going to see some increase in demand at U.S. values, and I think this sets the stage for U.S. wheat futures to finally begin to try some sort of an uptrend, and it probably helps the corn market come out of largely stagnation. And overall, we've talked about much better pricing opportunities ahead of us over the next 60 to 90 days. And I think the Egyptian purchase of U.S. wheat here over the weekend is going to be the initial talking point. Anytime you go to the first day of the month, there's always a certain amount of new month buying enthusiasm ideas. I'm not sure I really agree with that, but sometimes it's a self-serving and self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's something that's talked about every month. Whether it's true or not, it's kind of irrelevant. Weather outlook themes pretty much the same. The U.S. plains still have limited moisture prospects, very dry outlook. It's something that'll be a concern to the marketplace all the way going into spring. The South American weather themes are pretty much the same. Argentina's wetter than desired. Brazil, in my opinion, is fine. You can find some areas that maybe have been a little bit shortchanged in parts of central or southern Brazil, but overall I'd say it's very good on the vast majority of acres. But I think when it comes to South American weather, it's important to keep in mind that the marketplace wants to find a bullish weather story, and every day they're going to find some reason, some locale that's experienced less than desirable weather. And with the market's positioned for some sort of upward price movement here over the next 1 to 3 months, I think it would be foolish to focus on bearish aspects of the weather forecast, and it would be futile to focus on any really irrational bullish spins that might be found on South American weather. It really doesn't matter. If the market wants to be bullish on South American weather, then they'll be bullish on South American weather. Let's go back to Friday's price action. Friday's price action, actually go back even earlier in the last week. We talked about the technical market being set up for some sort of corrective phase. The wheat market clearly came down into long-term support levels. The corn market entered what I talked about as being the longer-term support zone, with probes under 750 basis Marches offering longer-term ownership opportunities and likely limited downside potential, if any, below 740 basis March, and we got to 748. So while it maybe is on a fast track and it seems like a pretty steep ascent for the market and a very limited time of a corrective mode from late last week, I'm not so sure that we get more than that. And with the market starting out higher tonight, it's always a risk of trying to buy strength on a Sunday night when you're looking for some sort of a turn to the upside. There's always a risk that you're going to get in early. You're going to regret being the first guy to try to want to own it. But in this particular case, I certainly wouldn't want to sell it tonight. The outlook has been building for better prices ahead over the last couple of weeks, and I think we've already started it. We've already made clearly definable seasonal bottoms. We've had a correction here with late last week's trade. Wheat and corn came back nicely into long-term support levels. The bean market didn't come back as far, but it did break more than 30 cents off of last week's high, and that may be about all we get. I'm not sure about the beans, but I think I don't want to be short anything here. I don't want to be bearish anything, because if you're bearish right now at this time of the year when you're already looking for a turn to the upside anyway, I think you run the risk of being wrong, significantly, and being wrong about the major direction. The question here is where is ownership opportunities if you're a short-term trader? I think the break Friday got us into areas where legitimate ownership opportunities for short and long-term traders both. And then tonight, assuming we're going to be higher to some degree, probably higher in all three markets, wheat, corn, and soybeans, I'm not so sure that your best buying opportunities won't occur early in the night. I don't think that we're going to see any noticeable setback. If we do, I think it's for long-term traders, it's certainly a type of positioning that they'll feel comfortable with trying to establish. So I think you look at the technical market and say that we're ready to push higher again. And we've had a correction. We're at price levels that offer long-term ownership. We have a fundamental baseline that projects, reasonable, if not likely, potential for higher prices over the next 1 to 3 months. Whether this is something that extends beyond, well into the spring or summer, I'm not sure, but it certainly looks like we're poised for strength here. So for the DPP grain desk, on Sunday, December 2nd, from a backyard in my shirt sleeves, 58 degrees in northeast Iowa, mellow ground, and looks like it's ready for planting. Whatever you want to think that means about for weather conditions for 2013, you're on your own. This has been Duane Lowry. Thank you.